So I'm just going to give you the real deal. I want to tell you what I wish somebody would have told me before I bought this thing. What up with you guys? You know who it is. It's your boy John Mike back again. And today I'm going to be talking about my Raven console that I've had for the grand total of around 10 or so months now. I got it back in like July of last year. And I've been rocking with it for about 10 months now. And it's been really, really dope. It's probably one of the best pieces of my studio that I have ever purchased because it's literally updated the entire look and feel of my studio. I have it here in my basement of my house. It's not a commercial building or anything, but when you walk in, it makes the whole space like it's just, you know, Studio A at whatever big studio, and it makes me feel very creative when I walk in the room. So what I want to do today is give you an objective opinion after owning this for 10 months and give you the real deal Holyfield, because like I always say with these post reviews, when you open something up and you take it out the box, it is almost always dope. There's some things we take out the box that's not dope, but for the most part with this kind of gear, when we open it up and we take it out of the box and we're using it for the first time, for the first week, for the first month, we're just so enamored with it, and it's so great and it's so amazing. But after you've had it for a while and the gear lust kind of wears off and you start lusting after other stuff, then you really have your objective opinions about this. So I'm going to give you some pros and I'm going to give you some cons. So I'm just going to give you the real deal. I want to tell you what I wish somebody would have told me before I bought this thing. So I'm going to give you 3 quick pros about this thing. And then I'm going to give you 3 cons about it to make you maybe think about whether or not you should buy it or not. And then I'm gonna get out your way and let you make your decision about what you want to do. So I'm gonna try to be really, really brief with these. I'm not gonna like be exhaustive with them because I know it's some overlap from my initial review. So I'm just gonna kind of hit them and go on about my business. You can check my initial review on it, you know, up in the cards down in the description type thing. So pro number 1, of course, is the touchscreen. This thing is amazing. That's what you buy this for, because it's a giant 2. With this one, whether you buy 1 or you buy 2, I'm going to talk about it because I bought 2. It's 2 big touch screens, and you can use this to like touch faders and push them up and down and do all those things like that. It's really, really cool for that sort of thing. Being able to just interact with your software. That is the most beautiful part about it. And the best thing about it is the touchscreen. It's just that's what it is. That's number 1 pro. That's really, really good about it. The number 2 pro is what they call the batch commander. That is probably my favorite thing about it. Second favorite thing about it, or what have you, because these are not in really any, you know, 1, 2, 3 order. But what really enhances the touchscreen is the fact that they have the batch commander, and you can use it to set up like commands that you do on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to go over that probably in a separate video, but the batch commander is amazing. I've worked it totally into my workflow. All of the things that I do, the commands that I use that on a day-to-day basis that are like redundant are all on my batch commander, and I can literally just tap this and do that and export tracks and all that stuff like that. It just makes it dead simple. So the batch commander is probably the number 2 thing about it. The number 3 thing that I will give you is the entire look and feel of this. This thing updates the entire look and feel of your studio. When I walk in the room and I look at this thing, it inspires me to create instantly. Like when I walk in the room in the mornings and I turn everything on, it's like, like it's time to produce. It's time to mix. It's time to create. And then it has the same effect on the people, the clients that I've had that have come in here. When they walk in and they see this, it's like, whoa, it's like, wow, like, what is this? What is that? You know what I mean? They are enamored by it. And it in turn makes for a great session because they feel as though they're in a professional environment. So this was probably the number one reason that I bought this, was because of the look. That's why I bought it. Like, I didn't care. I mean, I cared about it being touchscreen and I was, all those things like that. But I bought it for the look, for the feel, for the experience that I wanted to give myself and also my clients as they came through. So now I'm going to give you a few cons that I have with this. These are some things that I wish I had kind of been told or knew about it before I bought it. And I'm going to give you my number one grievance with it. And that would be the desk itself, right? This desk. And I know I just said in my number 3 pro was the look and the feel of it, right? Talked about how beautiful it is and how much of a, piece of furniture, studio furniture it does in enhancing my environment. But my number one grievance with this thing is that it's the desk itself, because I believe that it is, and I'm gonna do a video on the desk just by itself because it needs a video just to describe all the things about the desk, because you need to know this before you buy it. This is an expensive desk. This desk, if you buy it by itself, is $1,500. You're talking about $1,499 to buy this desk. That puts it twice the price of the Output desk and several other desks that are on the market. Your Guitar Center desk, your different ones like that. So it is a very expensive desk. You're talking about getting it into $1,400, $1,500. You're getting into Argosy desk territory. They start, around this price point, between 15 to 3K. You're talking about high-end studio desk at that point. My number one grievance with it, because it's, such an expensive piece, is that there's no rack space that comes with it. Now, I have this little rack that I bought over here that I use. It has nothing to do with Slate. Something I just bought. But if you want to get rack space with this, you got to spend another $500 on a sidecar for it. Again, Argosy desk territory. Then we're talking $2,000 for a desk. Now, if you buy them together with the screens, you get $1,000 off, and not $1,000 off. Yeah, about $500 off. You get it for 3K with 2 screens. But if you're getting it, if you already got the screens and you think about getting the desk, you're talking about another $2,000 to get it with rack space. There's no rack space on this desk. There's nowhere to put your rack gear, your outboard gear, just the desk by itself without getting the sidecar. There's nowhere to put that. There's a little shelf on the back, which is really, really cool. I tried putting some stuff. I had my interface back there and my computer back there for a while. That didn't work out good for me. It was just a terrible experience when I needed to unplug something, plug something back up. I had to go back behind the desk in order to, plug something up or unplug it, or, turn my interface if it came unplugged or something like that, or restart my computer. I had it all back up under there. So it's a hassle in that respect, that it's not, there's no rack space. And then another piece with it, there's no real desk. And I get the ergonomics of it, being able to reach and touch with your hand. That's why the desk space is so small. But this is probably the extent of the type of MIDI controller that you're going to be able to get on the desk, because there's not much desk to the desk. It's not wide. It's about that much desk space is that you're going to get, about that much. So the average MIDI controller, if you got a 49 key MIDI controller, 61 key MIDI controller, God forbid an 88 key, it's not going to fit on this desk. And you're not going to have room. I barely have room for what I have on here, and it gets cluttered really quick. So I find myself moving stuff around to accommodate for what I want on the desk. There's a couple of other things about the desk that I want to get into, but I don't want to spend too much time here. Again, I'm going to do a whole video just on the desk, because I think people need to know like the experience that you get when you buy this particular thing, and why it's a grievance. But it still looks beautiful. If I had to buy it again, I would still buy it. Don't get me wrong here, but I want to inform you. What I wish somebody had told me is that I can't put my keyboard on here. You're not gonna be able to put your MIDI controller on here, your all of your stuff. It's gonna be a small space. There's no place to put your racks. There's no place for your outboard gear unless you spend another $500. Those are things that I wish somebody would have let me know, before I spent $3,000 on it. I could have probably just bought 2 screens because they're $1,000 a piece, spent $2K, and then went to IKEA and bought a $20 desk and put it together myself and slapped the Ravens on them, because they come with a little kickstand. Actually, if you buy the Raven by itself, it comes with a little stand, kickstand. You can't use it when you put it in the desk, but if you wanted to just use it in a standalone setup, you could literally just get a flat table and put these 2 screens on it, and boom, you got like a setup. Or I've seen people even create their own custom, screens for, desks for it, what have you, over the years or what have you. But it's really, really good. It's really, really good. I still endorse it. I just want to inform you. So the number 2 grievance I have with this is the touchscreen. And I know what you're probably thinking, like, you're seeing a trend here, like the things that you said are pros are also cons. And that could be the case with this, because I will be honest with you, there are times where the touchscreen just is not responsive the way that it needs to be. I've never had problems with the touchscreen not working. I will say that I've had problems with it not working as advertised, like things that and little things kind of like offset it, because I'm using it with my MacBook Pro. So I have like it plugged up to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's, if I unplug something comes unplugged, I put the thing to sleep, I unplug it, take it on a trip, come back and plug everything up. The touch screens are not working, I got it properly. Sometimes I have to recalibrate them and go through that process. But most of the issues now I will say this to kind of come with the con, most of the issues that you will have with the touch screens are going to be fixed with a simple restart. Now, it's irritating and frustrating and agitating, absolutely, when you're in the middle of something and then you reach up to grab something to touch a fader or touch something and do something and it's not working, or my favorite thing to use for it is to use it to kind of expand out my arrangement area and make it tall, make my zoom, do my zoom and scroll through. And so when you reach up to do that and it's not working, it's like, oh, it's not working, I want to do this. And then you're in the middle of a flow. So you got to stop, restart the computer, which these computers restart fast, but it's a buzzkill when you got to stop in the middle of what you're doing, save your project and restart your computer. Now, how often does this happen? It does not happen a whole lot. I would say maybe once or twice a month, maybe 3 times a month. It's sporadic, and it's always user error. It's always something I did, or I unplugged, or I did that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my number 2 with that. Now, my number 3 grievance and the final grievance and final con with this is your plugs and your ins and your outs. So these screens come with 2 inputs that you need to play. And I'm trying to put this as best as I can. You have an HDMI input and you have a USB input that you have to use with it. So I have 2 screens. So that means that is 4 inputs that I have to plug into my computer in order to make it work. I have to plug in 2 USBs and 2 HDMIs, which I have the newest MacBook Pro. Not the newest, but one of the newer MacBook Pros with the touch bar and stuff. So it's got the USB-C ports on it and not the traditional USB port. So it takes up a lot of my ports. So I end up with dongle city. So I have like 2 USB hubs plugged up to my thing, and then you got to use powered hubs, or you got to plug it directly in. And with the video, you need to plug it, like the actual screens, you need to plug those directly in. I have 4 ports on my MacBook. 2 of them are already taken up by the screen's HDMI. I have to do that. And then the other 2, I have USB hubs plugged into them, and then power. No, one is plugged up to a USB hub that's got another USB hub plugged into it, and then the other one is plugged up with power. So there I am with all of this in and out, trying to figure out with all of these super hubs. And I got a hub that's got 12 ports on it. And then I got another hub because I still have, because here's the thing, you got these two screens, you need 4 inputs to plug into your computer to make it work. Well, no matter what computer you have, whether you got an iMac or a Mac Mini or a MacBook Pro, a Mac Mini probably be better suited because they typically, some of the older ones, not the newest one, but some of the older Mac Minis, 2018, 14 to 18, they come with multiple, ports that you can kind of work with that or what have you. So you can get away with it probably on something like that. But when you're using it with a MacBook or iMac, or MacBook like I'm doing, you run out of ports really, really quick. And so you got to plug all of this stuff up. And therein lies a lot of the touchscreen issues and stuff like that, because sometimes it's a power issue. Sometimes it's an issue like that. So you have to kind of consider that. That's something that I wish somebody would have told me before I really got it, that, plugging it to a MacBook is going to be a hassle because you're going to have so many things that you're going to have to plug in to your computer in order to keep it working and make it work. So that's all I wanted to kind of share with you guys. Again, I'm going to do another video just on the desk itself because it just warrants a video just to talk about the desk, because I want to help some people that may be on this thing like, do I just want to buy 2 screens to get my own desk? Do I want to just get this whole package? You know what I mean? That's what I want to kind of help some people answer those particular questions or what have you. But I hope this video helped you. I hope it blessed you. I hope it gave you something to think about. Hope it gave you, some insight into this world of the Raven. All said and done, it's still my favorite purchase. I don't regret it. I do not have buyer's remorse. I have buyer satisfaction because it is 100% enhanced my workflow. It is 100% enhanced my studio, the look and the feel. It's impressed my clients, which in turn has created repeat clients, which in turn has made me money. And that's always a good thing. So you know what you could do to help me out? You can hit the like button. You can hit the share button. You can drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about it. And subscribe, turn on notifications, do all those things that you do on the video. I'll talk to you guys on the next video. I'm out. Holla at your boy.